Hey, good morning. This morning we're going to do a similar format to last week, but different exercises. So this week we're going to do legs and arms to start with. So we've got 5 exercises. We're doing them 3 times before we move on. Then we're going to have a slightly longer break, and then we're going to go into core, and that core has a little bit of upper body still, and we're doing 5 exercises, but this time we're doing it twice. So I've got a selection of dumbbells this morning, and you'll need that too. So we'll start with a warm up and then we'll crack on. Okay, so let's start with our ankle rolls. So nice big rolls, extending into the knee, so big circles, and then let's open up the hips, so all the way around. Nice big circles, and then we're just going to close it off. So this time bring out to the side and in, just a wee half circle. Good, and do 3. Swap legs. So start with our ankle rolls, round. Good, extending into the knee, big circles. And then into the hip, open up the hip. Nice, big circles. Good. And then closing it off, bring up to the side and pulling. So just working on that mobility of the hip whilst warming up the muscles. We'll be doing quite a bit of squat lunges to start with. Good. On that note, then to squats, down and up, not too deep. Little squeeze at the top. Good. Do another 2. Excellent. Last one. Okay, let's stretch off the back of the legs. So hands up in the air, stretch down, opposite toe tap. Good, nice and low. Big stretch above the head. Good. On this next one, we're going to go down and walk out into plank. So stretching down to the floor, walking out, little pause at the bottom, and then push back up. Let's do that again. Good, all the way down, walking out, pause, and push back up. Last time, all the way down, and pause. Good, so we're staying in plank position. From here, either drop to your knees, or stay on your toes, and let's do 3 press-ups. So big push-up, good, and again, and last one. Push down into downward dog. So pushing the heels down into the floor, straighten off the back. So feel that tension running up the back of the legs. Just pulse these heels. Good. Feel that in the calves. Excellent. Back into high plank. Good. And then push up off the floor into standing position. Excellent. Okay, you should be a wee bit warmer. Squat and shoulder press to start with. Grab your weights. Good. So we're doing a minute on, 20 seconds recovery. So we're doing it 3 times. So start heavy if you can. So this is endurance training. So we're doing lots of repetitions. So your weight should be slightly higher, especially if you're used to doing strength. Okay, so pulling the weight up into your shoulders, start with your squat all the way down. Squeeze the glutes, engage the core, push the weight above your head. Drop right down into squat before you push up into your shoulder press. Good, squeeze your glutes, big push. Dropping down. Excellent. Nice and controlled. So we want to engage that core as we push above the head. Good, nice and low, dropping down. Big push. Excellent. And again. So if your weight's quite heavy, just slow the repetitions down. If it feels quite light, don't worry about it. We're doing this another twice. Good. One more. Good, big push. And into recovery. Excellent. Good. Okay, 20 seconds. We're going again. So keep your weight close. Good, back into squat, feet shoulder width apart. Drop the weight into the heels. Good, pick up the weight. Let's go again. Dropping down into squat. Big push above the head. So squat is parallel to the floor. So dropping the hips down until you're in that seated position. Weight should be on your heels. Good, big push. Make sure you're bringing your hips underneath. So lock your glutes, engage your core, and then push that weight. Good, don't take it on your lower back. Big push. Excellent. Should be feeling that in the legs and shoulders. If not, we need heavier weights. Good, big push, 20 seconds. About 3 more. Good. Try not to drop the chest as you're sinking down into your squat. Excellent. 1 more. Push down. Big push. Good. Drop the weights. Give your arms a wee shake. Okay. Working the shoulders hard to start with. At least we get it done. So grab your weights again. Into squat position. Last set. So you should be really feeling that around the shoulder area. Good. Let's go. Drop down. Squeeze. Push. I'm going to show you a wee cheat for the next one. As you start to tire, before you go into push, bend the knees. Bounce up and push. Use a little bit of legs to initiate that shoulder press. Good. Keep going. Down. Up. Push. Nice and controlled. Good. You're halfway. Keep going. Excellent. Big push. Good. Dropping the weight right into the heels. Big shoulder press up. Good. Making sure you're engaging the glutes, engaging the core. You've got about 1 more to go. Excellent. And into recovery. Good. Okay. Curtsy lunge and bicep curl. We're going to stay on the one leg for the first set. So feet should be hip width apart this time to start. A little bit narrower. Going to curtsy into that lunge on that one foot and stay on that foot. Good. So curtsy back, lunge, feet together, bicep curl. Same leg. Back, down, curl up. When you're curling the weights, keep the elbows tight into the side. The only joint that should be moving is the elbow joint. Pull up. Good. Again, we're engaging that core and glutes as we pull the weight into our arms. Excellent. So dropping back into that angle so that we're getting a wee bit more of the glutes and the outside of our legs in that curtsy lunge. Good. Keep going. You've got about 1 more. Good. And into recovery. Drop your weights. Give your arms a wee shake. We're swapping leg into our second set. So this time, staying on that opposite leg. Okay, same again. Feet together, underneath the hips. Curtsy lunge. All the way back and down. Good. Bring it up into the biceps. Good. So we're looking for that 90 degrees behind both knees, sinking all the way down before we stand and pull. Good. Nice and low. Excellent. Bending that back knee and that front knee into 90 degrees. Good. Halfway. Big pull. Good. We should be feeling that in the arms as well as the legs. Good. So slowing it down. Keep thinking about your technique. 10 seconds left. Big pull. Good. And into recovery. Good. This time, because we're on the third set, we're going to alternate curtsy lunge. Good. So grabbing your weights. And we're keeping that bicep curl. So nice tall posture. Good. This time, alternate that curtsy lunge. Biceps stay the same. Good. Nice and low. Keep the chest high as you're sinking into your curtsy lunge. Try not to bend forward. Good. Legs should be feeling it. Excellent. If not, up these weights. Excellent. All the way back. Good. Feet together. Remember, engage that core. Good. You've got about 4 more. Take your time. All the way back. Big pull. Excellent. And last one. Good. Drop the weights. Okay, this time you just need one weight. We're into Cossack squats. No, we're not. We're going to go into sumo squat. So instead of going just shoulder width apart, go that little bit more. Holding the one weight, we're going to go down until it taps the floor. Weight into the heels and sit back into the glutes. Elbows up, upright row. All the way down. Good. Squeeze the glutes. Engage the core. Lift that weight to under the chin. So this time we're working the shoulders and these little muscles around the neck. And because we've gone wider in our squats, we're working our glutes, but we're also working the inside of our legs this time. Good. Squeeze and lift. Excellent. Nice tall posture. So sinking right down to the floor. Hips parallel as you drop the weight. Still into the heels. Point the toes out if that helps. Good. And into recovery. Good. Drop your weight. Give your legs a little shake. Doing that one again. Good. Okay. So again, feet that little bit wider than your squat position. Good. Dropping down. Nice tall posture. Lift and pull under the chin. Dropping the weight all the way down to the floor. Keeping the chest nice and high. Excellent. Down. Squeeze the glutes. Lock them and then lift. Excellent. Big pull. Halfway. Nice and low. Sinking right down. Good. Good. Keeping that weight close to your chest. You're scraping it up the front of your body, elbows out, and then drop down. Good. Nice tall posture. Excellent. Keep going. 2 more. And pull. Good. All the way down. Excellent. Drop the weight. Give the legs a wee shake. Good. Once more. Nice wide squat position. Good. Collect your weight. Let's do this one more time. Nice and wide. Shoulder blades back. Good. Dropping down. And pull. Excellent. So should be feeling that in the shoulders. We'll feel it just around the outside of the shoulders, maybe around the back of the neck, these little muscles. Good. Lift. We're using a wee bit of our lats, not much. Enough of that upper back and shoulders just to get these repetitions in. Good. Down and pull halfway. Good. Lock the glutes, engage the core. Good. We've got about 2 or 3 more, depending on how fast you're going. Big pull. Good. And into recovery. Good. Okay. Calf raises. So our feet are shoulder width apart and we're raising up onto the calf. We're giving our quads and our hamstrings and our glutes a little break. One way, we're going to work the back of the arm. Good. So grab your dumbbell, push it above your head, bring your elbows in. Good. So we're going to push up onto the ball of our foot, little pause, drop down, tricep extension. So dropping the weight low behind your back and then extend up. Good. So push up onto the ball of your foot, little pause, drop back and push up. We want to keep these elbows as close to our ears as possible. Try not to splay the elbows out, or we'll be using a little bit more bicep than we want at this stage. We want to target the back of the arm. Good. Big push up. Excellent. Again, we're just tucking the pelvis underneath. We don't want to be sticking our bottom out. We want to tuck it underneath and squeeze the glute. So we're protecting that lower back by using our glutes. Excellent. Give our shoulders a wee roll. Okay, let's do that one again. So lots of repetitions into the calf, extending up, grabbing your weight. So this is a small muscle group. So you're going to feel it in the back of the arms. I didn't feel it there, so I'm going to up the weight a little bit. So extend up onto the toes, dropping down and pushing up. Good. So again, the weights aren't heavy, probably using just under 10 kilograms, but that's fine because we're doing very high repetition. We're going for that muscular endurance. We're toning. We're still adding a little bit of strength, especially if you're not lifting heavy. You're going to get the benefit from this. If you've not been doing a lot of arms, you're going to get DOMs the next couple of days. So delayed onset muscle soreness and the working muscles, which pretty much is all of them. Good, big push. Good, last 10 seconds. Good, keep going all the way up into the toes. Drop down and push. Excellent, into recovery. Oh, good. Once more. So if you're finding this quite a lot in the arms, start with the weight, but have the options to take the weight out. Keep using the calf. Good, let's start again. Push the weight above the head. Draw the elbows in, last time. All the way up. Drop back down. Extend and push. Good. So breathe through the exercises. Don't hold your breath. We need to make sure that we're getting that oxygen in. Help working muscles. Good. And again, we're tucking the pelvis underneath. If you're finding the tricep extensions, bring the weight into the chest and keep lifting onto the ball of the foot to work the calf. Good. Well over halfway. You've got about 5 more. Keep going. Good. Big push. Elbows tucked in. Engage that core. Good. And last 10 seconds. Keep going. Good. Woo, into recovery. Excellent. Okay, we're into shoulder raises. So this time we're into lunge position. So grab your weights. We're going to step forward, stand up, and enter lateral shoulder lift. So nice tall posture. Stepping down into lunge, and arms aren't doing anything until we come back into that standing position. Then we're lifting up. We're staying on that one leg. Enter lunge, push, and lift. So nice tall posture. Lunging forward. Lifting the weights into our shoulders again. Good. If your weight's quite heavy, bend the elbow and lift. Still laterally, but just with that slightly shorter limb length, which will make it easier lifting out to the side. Good. All the way down, 90 degrees behind these legs. Big lift. 10 seconds. Good. One more. Excellent. And into recovery. Good. Shake out. Opposite leg this time. Last set, we're going to alternate. Good. Collecting the weights. And we're going again. So again, nice tall posture. Feet shoulder width apart. Good. Stepping down. All the way down into lunge. Big lift at the top. Engaging the core and the glutes again. Making sure they're nice and engaged before you lift into that shoulder raise. Good. All the way down. Excellent. Halfway. Good. Legs should be really feeling it. Arms should be fatiguing. Should be getting this just about right. And that when you get to your third set, you're getting close to fatigue. If you're fatiguing, that's fine. This is where we're trying to build that endurance. Good. You've got one more. Excellent. Into recovery. Shake it out. Okay, we're alternating this time. Have a wee stretch. Good. Okay. Back in, lateral raises. Swapping leg each time. Nice tall posture. Good, let's go. Start with that lunge. Up. Pull. Good, reset. Opposite side. Back to standing position. Engage the glutes and the core. So much easier if you engage that core before you lift the weight for your arm. We want to be really grounded in our feet. Good. Halfway. Excellent. Big pull. This is the last big exercise. We're moving on to the second routine, which is mainly body weight. That is all body. No, it's not. Might be body weight if you choose it to be body weight. Good. 10 seconds. Excellent. Woo! Into recovery. Good. Let the heart rate come back down. Okay. So we're going to focus on these 5 exercises. We're just doing them twice. Most of it is core with a little bit of arms. So the arms are going to feel it probably before the core because we've been working it. So we're going to start with plank walkouts. We did them at the start of part for warm out. Walking all the way out and then pushing back up. We're just doing each of these twice. Okay, so start at the side of your mat. Let's start. So we're going to keep our legs nice and straight and reach down towards the mat. Stretch off the back of the legs. Walk the hands out, right into plank. Get a little pause in plank position and then push back up. So this time you've got an option to drop the chest to the floor. Plank, drop down, push up, and then push back into that standing position. So you're slowly lowering your weight right down onto the floor, bending the elbows, keeping them close to the body. So we're using the triceps, and then pushing back up. Excellent. all the way down. So locking the abdominals, making sure they're nice and tight. Push all the way back up. Try and keep the legs relatively straight so we're adding a bit more resistance. Excellent. Good. Into recovery. Got 20 seconds. So stretch it out. Choose your stretch. And then back up. Standing position. Back into walkout planks. So you've got your option again to lower the chest to the floor. Good. All the way down to the mat. Walking it out. Hands should be directly underneath shoulders. Weight should drop back into the heels before you lower your body weight down and then push back up. Good. Keep going. Parallel to the floor. Little pause there. Drop down. Push up. Good. Keep going. Well over halfway. You want to take that press out. Just pause and hold in high plank before pushing up through these relatively straight legs. Excellent. 10 seconds. Keep going. Big push. Last few seconds. Ooh, into recovery. Okay. Press ups. Yep, let's do it. So into press up positions, you can do it on your knees, you can do it on your toes. Want these arms to be relatively narrow, so we're using our triceps. Good, plank position, high plank on your knees, on your toes. Let's go. Press up. Right down onto that floor if you can. Push up through the arms. So take your time. We're doing 2 sets, 2 minutes. Of press ups. So I want to see good technique rather than poor technique. So if you're on your knees, push your hips forward. Make sure there's a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Drop the chest down to the floor if you can. And then push up through these triceps. The elbows should point back into that W shape. So we're looking for a W. From the elbow to the wrist to the shoulder. Try not to be a way out with the elbows facing out the way. Keep them close to the body. Good. And sit back. Good. Sit right back onto your heels. Let's stretch out these shoulders. Let's stretch out these lats. We're going to do that again. Good. Okay. Back into press up position. Good. Nice and low. Big push. So you're pushing through your hands. We really want to be using our chest, our triceps, our biceps, and our core. Good. Good. Go in your own time. I'm feeling it. You should be feeling it too. Good. Halfway. 30 seconds. Good. Keep going with that harder option. Push through the floor. Up into high plank position. Excellent. Keep going. If you're on your knees, still get that chest down to the floor. Don't cross your feet. Have your toes planted on the floor. Good. 10 seconds left. Last little push. All the way to the end. Good. Stretch it out. Excellent. Okay. Sit up and reach. So we're staying using our arms. We're using our abdominals. So grab a weight. We're going to do that tricep pull from behind the head. Again, we're doing it twice. Good. So slight bend in the knees. Bring the weight up. We're rolling off the floor into our shoulder press and rolling back down. Tricep pull at the top. Good. Big push. So really engaging the muscles in our abdominals As we pull up, we don't want to bounce off the floor. We want to roll up off the floor and roll down, keeping it nice and controlled throughout. So we're really engaging these muscles. And forward. Big push. So when we push the weight above our head, we need to have that nice straight spine. Take that shoulders, push the chest forward, push up above the head. Good. Try not to round the shoulders. Nice straight spine. Good. Last few seconds. And push. And into recovery. Excellent. We've got one more. Good. Going again. Grab your weight. Good. Let's start from the lying position. Tricep pull to start with. Enter shoulder press. Okay, let's go. Pulling up. Pushing. If we can, bring these knees a little bit further in to your chest. Make it a bit more challenging to get up. The more we've got a bend in the knees, the harder it is to come up. If we straighten out our leg, just gives us a little bit more leverage to get back up because there's more weight away from our hips. Good, big push. Excellent. 30 seconds. Good. Keep going. Big push. You've got about 4 more, maybe 3. Good. And 10 seconds left. All the way to the end. Good. Excellent. Into recovery. Okay, you need 2 weights for this, or you can do it body weight. Plank row. So either on your toes or on your knees. If you're on your knees, push your body weight forward. Same in press up. We want to push until straight line from our knees to our shoulders. Feet shoulder width or hip width apart, and you're rowing in plank position. So we're bringing that elbow high up into our chest. We're staying in plank, high plank position as parallel to the floor as you can. When we're rowing alternate arms. So this time we're into our back, into our lats. Good. Big pull. Good. Keep that core engaged in plank position. Working all your abdominals. Good. If you're on your knees, keep pushing the hips forward. Good. If you need to come up into box position, that's fine. As long as you're rowing these arms, keep rowing the arms. Good. Last few seconds. Good. Sit down on your knees. Stretch out. We're doing that once more. Good. Okay, back up into plank row. Good. Into position. High plank and let's roll. Nice and high. Elbows to the ceiling. Big pull. Good. Keep going, keeping it parallel to the floor. Remember your options on your toes or on your knees. Nice big roll. Good. Halfway, you've got 30 seconds left. Good. Keep pushing. We've only one more exercise to do, and we're doing it twice to finish. Good. Keep going. You've got just over 10 seconds left. Nice high elbows. Good, about 4 more. Good. Into recovery. Okay, we're going to do a combination. Just going to make it up as we go because I don't want to do the next one. I think we've done enough of these types. So we're going to do a little combination. in high plank position. Good. Up into high plank. We're going to bring the knee up for 4. So left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg, and then down into downward dog. And hold and stretch. So imagine a wee downward dog into this routine as a recovery. Good. Back into high plank. This time, drop down onto your elbows for 4. Left, right, push back up. Again, left, right, push back up. Downward dog. Push into the heels. Stretch it out. See where we're going with this? Good. Back into rope climber. High plank. Bring one knee in. Opposite knee. Do that twice. And then downward dog. Good. If you're struggling, I want you to get into static plank and hold it. In the next set. Good. Sit back. Stretch it out. Okay, let's do that again. So you're doing 4 rope climbers, 4 dynamic planks, downward dog in between. Back up. If you can't manage that, static plank on your toes or on your knees. Good. This is the last one. Knee 4 times. Good. Downward dog. Drop the heels. Stretch and hold for about 3 seconds. Back into high plank. Dynamic plank. Up, up, down, down. 4 times. Downward dog. Push and hold. Good. Rope climber. Parallel to the floor. You're halfway. You're just doing that sequence again. 4 knees. Downward dog. Should be feeling that in the core and the arms. Good. High plank. Dynamic. Down, 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 up twice. Oh, good. Big push. Downward dog. Hold. Good. And release. Woo. That one got me. Excellent. Let's stretch it off. Nice wide knees. Bring the heels together. Sit back. And stretch out. Good. Nice big deep breaths. Let's get this heart rate all the way back down. Good. Just draw the fingertips slightly further away. Deepen that stretch around the shoulders, upper back. Good. Slowly coming up into cat-cow. Extend through the spine, lift the head and the tailbone up, and then slowly rotate. Pushing the shoulder blades apart, drawing the hips under, and rotate back round. Good, well done. So just getting a little bit of movement into the spine, loosening off the back. Good. Okay, just lunge one leg forward. Just easing out our hips, our quad, our hamstrings. Good. Just knock that knee out to the side. Just have a little stretch for the adductors. We use them when we're doing our wide squat position with our upright row. Just stretch that off. Good. Sit back onto the heel. Stretch the posterior chain, hamstring, calf. Both of which worked hard at the start. Seems a long time ago now after doing that core routine. Good. Back into all fours. Opposite side. Lunge the leg forward. Draw the hips to the floor. Just knock that knee out to the side. Good. Nice big deep breaths. Heart rate should be coming right down now. Back into a resting state. Good. Sit back. Stretch the hamstring, the calf. Good. Excellent. Okay, slowly, slowly coming up into standing position. Good. Oh. Let's just do some nice big rolls of the shoulders. Excellent, well done. That was quite tough. We'll be using the same format. They do change. I would say that's slightly tougher than last week because it was upper body. It's not going to be upper body every week. Trying to just use as many muscle groups as possible. Good. Find these weaknesses, find these strengths. Well done. See you next week.